Hello students, today we are going to see chapter number 1 of Science 1, that is Laws of Motion. Motion of an object. We know the continuous displacement of an object is called motion. Can you tell in which of the following examples can you sense motion? How will you explain presence and absence of motion? In case of first example, that is the flight of a bird, there is a presence of motion. Second example, a stationary train, there is a absence of motion. Third example, leaves flying through air, there is presence of motion. A stone lying on a hill, there is absence of motion. From this, we can conclude that in case of example first and third, that is the flight of a bird and leaves flying through air, there is a presence of motion because there is a continuous displacement of an object. In case of second and fourth example, there is no displacement of an object, so there is a absence of motion. We see the motion of several objects every day. Sometimes we cannot see the motion of an object directly, as in the case of breeze. Can you list other examples of motion besides those given here? Yes, we can tell the different examples of motion. The motion of a simple pendulum, the motion of a moving bicycle, motion of flying mosquito, motion of merry-go-round, motion of the blades of a fan, motion of the earth around the sun, motion of a striker moving on a carom board, motion of a stone falling freely from the roof of a building. All these are the examples of motion because in all these examples there is a continuous displacement of an object. We know the motion is a relative concept. If the position of an object is changing with respect to its surrounding, then it is said to be in motion. Otherwise, it is said to be at rest. Think about it. If we are traveling in a bus, is the person sitting next to you in motion? The person sitting next to you is not in motion with respect to you, but that person is in motion with respect to the person on the road. What do you take into consideration to decide if an object is moving or not? To decide whether an object is in motion or not, we consider whether it changes its position with respect to its surroundings or not. Displacement and distance. Let's try this. Measure the distance between points A and B in different ways as shown in the figure. Now, measure the distance along the dotted line. Which distance is correct according to you and why? The distance measured along the curved path, including the loop from A and B, is the correct distance as far as the distance covered by a particle moving from A and B along that path is concerned. The distance measured along the dotted line gives the magnitude of the displacement of the particle from A to B. Think about it. Sheetal first went to her friend Sangita's house on her way to school. Prashant went straight from home to school. Both are walking with the same speed. Who will take less time to reach the school and why? In this example, there is a difference between the actual distance and the distance travelled. What is it? Prashant will take less time to reach the school because he covered less distance. So, we'll see how that distance will take less time. The distance travelled by Sheetal is equal to 500 meter plus 1200 meter, Means Sheetal is going first of all to Sangeeta's house, and that distance is of 500 meter. And after that she is going from Sangeeta's house to school. That distance is of 1200 meter. Means total distance travelled by Sheetal is equal to 1700 meter. The distance travelled by Prashant is 1300 meter, because Prashant is not going anyone friend's house. Prashant is directly going in school. That's why its distance is less. So the difference between both, that is 1700 meter minus 1300 meter, that is equal to 400 meter. Prashant and Sheetal walk with the same speed, and the distance travelled by Prashant is less than that travelled by Sheetal. Hence, Prashant will take less time to reach the school. From this, we can understand what is meant by distance and displacement. Distance is the length of the actual path travelled by an object in motion while going from one point to another. So distance is the actual path, and that is going from one point to another point. Whereas displacement is the minimum distance between the starting and finishing point. So from the Sheetal and Prashant's example, Prashant is directly going in school. So that is the minimum distance, and that's why it is a displacement. And in case of Sheetal, Sheetal is going first of all to Sangeeta's house, and then she is going to school. That is the actual path travelled by the Sheetal, and that's why it is a distance. Now next concept is speed and velocity. Speed is equal to total distance travelled upon time required. The distance travelled in a particular direction by an object in unit time is called its velocity. So in case of speed, total distance is required, and in case of velocity, distance travelled in a particular direction is required. Here unit time can be 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, etc. If large units are used, 1 year can also be used as a unit of time. The displacement that occurs in unit time is called as velocity, and velocity is equal to displacement upon time. So we'll get idea what is the definition of speed and velocity. In case of speed, we are considering distance, and in case of velocity, we are considering displacement. Next, always remember, the units of speed and velocity are the same. In the SI system, the unit is meter per second, while in CGS system, it is centimeter per second. Why these both the units of speed and velocity are same? Because in case of speed, we are considering distance, and distance we are measuring in meter or centimeter. And in case of velocity, we are considering displacement. So both units are same, that is meter and centimeter. And that's why speed and velocity both have the same units. Speed is related to distance, while velocity is related to the displacement. If the motion is along a straight line, the values of speed and velocity are the same. Otherwise, they can be different. Velocity is the displacement that occurs in unit time. Now we are going to see what is meant by speed and velocity. For that, we are going to take again that previous example. In the example, the straight line distance between the house of Sheetal and Sangeeta is 500 meter, and that between Sangeeta's house and school is 1200 meter. Also, the straight line distance between Sheetal's house and school is 1300 meter. Suppose Sheetal takes 5 minutes to reach Sangita's house and then 24 minutes to reach school from there, then Sheetal's speed along path A is equal to distance upon time. That is equal to 500 meter upon 5 minute, and that is equal to 100 meter up per minute. Sheetal's speed along path B, that is distance upon time. Here that distance is 1200 meter and time is 24 minute. So which is equal to 50 meter per minute. Sheetal's average speed is equal to total distance upon total time. So Sheetal has covered 1700 meter of distance in total time, that is 29 minutes. So that is equal to 58.6 meter per minute. Now Sheetal's velocity is equal to displacement upon time, which is equal to 1300 meter upon 29 minutes. Sheetal's velocity will come 44.83 meter per minute. So here in the same example, average speed of Sheetal is 58.6 meter per minute, but its velocity is 44.83 meter per minute. Effect of speed and direction on velocity. Sachin is traveling on a motorbike. Explain what will happen in the following events during Sachin's ride. What will be the effect on the velocity of the motorcycle if its speed increases or decreases, but its direction remains unchanged? The velocity of the motorcycle will increase if its speed increases, and it will decrease if its speed decreases. In case of a turning on the road, will the velocity and speed same? If Sachin changes the direction of the motorcycle, keeping its speed constant, what will be the effect on velocity? In case of a turning on the road, the velocity will certainly have to be changed, and usually also the speed. If the speed is kept constant and the direction of the motion of the motorcycle is changed, the velocity will change in direction but not in magnitude. If on turning, Sachin changes the direction as well as the speed of the motorcycle, what will be the effect on its velocity? If both the speed and direction of motion of the motorcycle are changed, the velocity will change in direction as well as in magnitude. Always remember, the first scientist to measure speed as the distance upon time was Galileo. The speed of sound in dry air is 343.2 meter per second, while the speed of light is about 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. The speed of revolution of the earth around the sun is about 29,770 meter per second. Next topic is uniform and non-uniform linear motion. We studied linear motion in the previous standard. Now we are going to see what is meant by uniform and non-uniform linear motion. If an object covers equal distance in equal time intervals, it is said to be moving with uniform speed. If an object covers unequal distance in equal time intervals, it is said to be moving with non-uniform speed. For example, the motion of a vehicle being driven through heavy traffic, that is the non-uniform speed. Acceleration. You must have played a slide in the park. You know that while sliding down, the velocity is less at the top, it increases in the middle and becomes zero towards the end. Due to that, acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. So, acceleration is equal to change in velocity upon time. If the initial velocity is u, in time t, it changes to final velocity v. And therefore, acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. Therefore, a is equal to v minus u upon t. If the velocity of an object changes during a certain time period, then it is said to have accelerated motion. An object in motion can have two types of acceleration. If the velocity changes by equal amounts in equal time intervals, the object is said to be in uniform acceleration. If the velocity changes by unequal amounts in equal time intervals, the object is said to be in non-uniform acceleration. Now, we are going to see types of acceleration. There are three types of acceleration, that is positive acceleration, negative acceleration and zero acceleration. An object can have positive or negative acceleration. When the velocity of an object increases, the acceleration is positive. In this case, the acceleration is in the direction of velocity. When the velocity of an object decreases with time, it has negative acceleration. Negative acceleration is also called as deceleration. Its direction is opposite to the direction of velocity. If the velocity of the object does not change with time, it has zero acceleration. Distance time graph for uniform motion. The following table shows the distance covered by a car in fixed time intervals. So we have to draw graph for this, that is distance against time. Here there are two axes, that is x axis and y axis. X axis we are taking, that is time in second. And on y-axis we are taking distance. Distance is in case of meters. So for plotting the graph, we have to take scale on x-axis as well as on y-axis. So here on x-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 seconds. And on y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 20 meters. So for this, here table is given. In this table, time in second and distance is in meter. These readings are given, and with the help of this data, we have to plot the graph. So, time is 0, that time distance is also 0 meter. Time 10 seconds, then distance is 15 meters. Time 20 seconds, then distance 30 meters. Time 30 seconds, then distance 45 meters. Time 40 seconds, then distance is coming 60 meters. Time 50 seconds, then distance is 75 meters. Time 60 seconds, then distance 90 meters. Time 70 seconds, then distance is of 105 meters. So with the help of this, we have to plot the graph. For that, we are going to start from origin, because our first reading is of 0, 0. So here, first point is on origin only, that is 0, 0. So here we have taken first point 0, 0. Then second reading, that is time is in 10 seconds and distance is of 15 meters. So here in between 0 to 20, 1 centimeter distance is there. So here we have to take 15 meter of distance, and that's why this 15 will come middle of the 0 to 20. So here we are taking 0 to 20. So here 0 to 20 middle is there, that is 10. 10 here meter. So instead of this 10, in 10 to 20 there are again 5 lines are there. So 15 will come in between these 10 to 20. So here I am taking first point, that is on here. That is first point that shows 10 seconds and 15 meters of distance. Now second reading, that is 20 seconds and then 30 meters. So here 20 seconds and then 30 meter of distance. So here 20 seconds, it corresponds to here middle line of 20 to 40 meter. So I have taken here point, that is showing the readings, that is 20, 30. Then next 30 second and 45. So here 45 is not there, but in between middle 40 to 60, which reading is coming? 50. So instead of 50 we are taking here 45. So 45 is in between 40 and 50. So here I am taking middle, that is. So this is the reading. Next 40, 60. So 40 second timing and 60 is here. Then 50 second and 75. So here I am taking 50 and 75. So 75 is coming in between 70 and 80. 70 is middle of this blue line, paint line. So 70 and 80 middle part is this. Then next is 60 second. Next is of 60 second and which corresponds to 90. So here I am taking 90, which corresponds to 60 second. Then next is 70 second and then distance is meter 105. 105 is in between 100 and 120. There is 110. So 100 and 110. In between that middle line is of 18. That is 105. So here 70 shows this 105. So I am taking this middle line in between 100 and 110. So with the help of this we plotted the graph. When you will look all these points of plotted graph, then you will understand all points are coming in one line. Due to that, we can say that distance and time, they both are directly proportional in case of uniform motion. After plotting of the graph, distance versus time in case of uniform motion, then it will look like this. Means that distance time graph is coming straight line. Why it is coming straight line? Because an object in uniform motion covers equal distance in equal time intervals, and thus the graph between distance and time is a straight line. Now after drawing the graph for uniform motion, now we are going to draw the graph for non-uniform motion. Here the following table shows the distance covered by a bus in equal time intervals. So we have to draw the graph distance against time. So we have to take again x-axis and y-axis. Here in table readings are given, time is in second and distance is in meter. So for 5 second distance gives, that is 7 meter. For 10 second distance is of 12 meters. Then for 15 second distance is of 20 meters. And for 20 second distance is of 30 meter. For 25 seconds, distance is of 41, and for 30 seconds, distance is of 50 meters. So with the help of this, we have to draw graph. For this same scale, we have to take, that is x-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 seconds, and on y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 20 meters. So after plotting the graph, you will get idea that all the points in case of this distance time graph, that is not coming in straight line. So due to that, it is a non-uniform. After plotting the graph in case of non-uniform motion, you will understand this graph is not coming straight line. So nature of the graph is just like this. So here the distance changes non-uniformly with time, thus the bus is having non-uniform motion.